Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Willis going to throw it right away. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. Ka'imi Fairbairn on for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either. And it's 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, Willis' throw is on target to Burks. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Well, this defense for the Texans, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
To throw again on second down. Willis. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a first down. The Texans sitting at 5-2 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. On 1st down, Willis. Henry's got it out on the left side. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Willis. He's got his man. That's Woods on the out route. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. 1st and 10, it's Willis. Got this complete to Racey McMath. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. On 3rd down, it's Willis. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up. And what's going to be the final play of this first quarter? 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Play fake. Mills. He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Now Willis to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, it's Willis. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Texans are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Mills. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. Shreds him with a stiff arm. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
On 2nd and goal, Mills. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. O.J. Howard. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Rolling to his right. And it'll be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Titans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that goes to the goal line. If you throw an interception, it's going to hurt on any down. But really the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Now on 2nd and 13, Willis. This will go to Henry out wide. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And the Texans scoop it. The big fella. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. On for the PAT, Ka'imi Fairbairn. And the lead is now 24. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Phillips now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Flush to his right. And nowhere to run for Willis. He goes down. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
Well, somebody's certainly having a big game. And while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Tough spot for Willis and the Titans, now facing 3rd and long following the sack. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, they got him again. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The punt team on now as from their end zone they get it away. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Hand off right side to Pierce. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. From the 17, Mills. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Brevin Jordan from 17 yards out. And the Texans are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Oh, he fakes a spike. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
After the sack on first down, Willis looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Last play of the half, Willis. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. So still 14 yards to go. 2nd down. Pierce now up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On 1st down, Willis looking for Woods again, and he finds him.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Here's 2nd and a yard. It's a play fake. Here's Willis. That one caught downfield. It's Hooper.
And it's a Titans touchdown. Austin Hooper, 72 yards.
And the Titans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead is down to 24. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown.
Fields it right around the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now Mills.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick-6 on the other side, and now they get a pick-6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick-6 from earlier in this game.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
Taken in at the 3.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
A bit more of a somber tone here as they take the field after throwing that pick-6. But, Charles, the bottom line is they still have the lead. They're still in the driver's seat.
You're right about that, and let's face it, when you throw a pick-6, it's demoralizing. But when you look over the scoreboard and realize you still have the lead, you kind of put that wry smile on your face and say, okay, let's just shake it off and start over again.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Mills now.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And some room to work. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Henry. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Play action. Here's Willis.
Steps away. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
2nd down throw coming by Willis.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A huge win defensively there on the sack, setting him back 12 yards. And now 3rd and goal.
So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker, making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls for it, as he just did right there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. And now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Bullock's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Bud Dupree.
And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Willis looking to throw it.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Flushed out right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Steven Nelson.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. You want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A give up the middle to Singletary. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The offense on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Pierce gets this one running right.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
And they'll try to throw here. Mills swings this out here for Cohen.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans.
Dameon Pierce, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are closing in on a 6-2 start as they extend this 4th quarter advantage.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Phillips now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on third. They'll run it again with Henry. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Henry up the middle. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
Here we go. 70 Rangers.
Willis, gotta have this one.
And now here is another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. And they'll indeed take a knee. Houston going to come away here with the victory, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced